Carbohydrates are classified according to size. The smallest carbohydrates are called monosaccharides. As the name implies, these are single sugar molecules. In monosaccharides, the number of carbons usually ranges from 3 to 7. Depending on the number of carbons in the sugar, they also may be known as trioses, these are 3 carbon sugars, pentoses, 5 carbon sugars, and hexoses, 6 carbon sugars. Carbohydrates can be represented by the stoichiometric formula CH2O. In other words, the ratio of carbon to hydrogen to oxygen is 1 to 2 to 1 in carbohydrate molecules in general, particularly in monosaccharides. A triose is a monosaccharide that contains 3 carbon atoms. There are only 3 possible trioses, including the dihydroxyacetone and 2 forms of glyceraldehyde in the nature. Trioses are usually important in cellular respiration. They are important sugar molecules as part of energy production process. A pentose is a monosaccharide with 5 carbon atoms. The chemical formula of pentoses is carbon 5, hydrogen 10, oxygen 5. Pentoses are very important in biochemistry. Ribose is a sugar that is found in RNA, and the related molecule, deoxyribose, is found in the structure of DNA. A hexose, on the other hand, is a monosaccharide with 6 carbon atoms. The chemical formula for all hexoses in the nature is carbon 6, hydrogen 12, oxygen 6. Hexoses are extremely important in biochemistry, both as isolated molecules such as glucose and fructose, and as building blocks of other compounds such as starch, cellulose, chitin, glycogen, and so on and so forth. In the structure of glucose and glucose-like molecules that you see in the image, we can see the trademarks of sugar molecules. So the glucose molecule, for example, has a carbonyl group, which is this one, and multiple hydroxyl groups. Depending on the location of the carbonyl group, a sugar molecule is either an aldose or a ketose sugar. So for a carbohydrate to be an aldose sugar, it needs an aldehyde group to be, and to be a ketose, it needs a ketone group. And aldose, for example, is a monosaccharide with a carbon backbone chain with a carbonyl group on the endmost carbon atom, making it an aldehyde, and hydroxyl groups connected to all the other carbon atoms. All of these sugars that are in this image are aldose sugars. This is exactly because the carbonyl group is located at the very end of the molecule. A ketose, on the other hand, is a monosaccharide with a carbon backbone chain with a carbonyl group away from the end of the molecule. It should be on one of the inner atoms of the carbon chain. A ketose is a monosaccharide containing, of course, one ketone group per molecule. And as you see here, it's in an inner carbon atom. Glucose, the most common monosaccharide, is of central importance in the chemistry of life. Another monosaccharide is fructose, which is commonly found in honey, fruits, and vegetables. It is the sweetest of all naturally occurring carbohydrates. Fructose is generally regarded as being 1.73 times as sweet as sucrose, the table sugar. Finally, there is the monosaccharide galactose, known as milk sugar. It's known as milk sugar because it is only found in nature when it links with glucose to form lactose, a disaccharide found in the milk of mammals, including cow and human breast milk. Fructose, galactose, and glucose have 6 carbon atoms. They are hexose sugars. Although these molecules all have the same chemical formula, carbon 6, hydrogen 12, oxygen 6, they still differ structurally and chemically. This makes them different molecules despite sharing the same atoms in the same proportions, and they are all isomers of one another, or they are isomeric monosaccharides. Monosaccharides can exist as a linear chain or as ring-shaped molecules. In aqueous solutions, they are usually found in ring forms. Glucose in a ring form can have 2 different arrangements of the hydroxyl group around the anomeric carbon. Anomeric carbon is carbon number 1 in the molecule. If the hydroxyl group is below carbon number 1 in the sugar, like the one you see here, it is said to be in the alpha position. If it is above the plane, like here, it is said to be in the beta position. Monosaccharides of 4 or more carbon atoms in nature are typically more stable when they adapt cyclic or ring structures. In pure form, monosaccharides are crystalline, water-soluble, and colorless solids. Monosaccharides have a sweet flavor because of the orientation of the hydroxyl group, OH group, interacting with the taste receptor on the tongue that detect sweetness. Sweetness varies with sugar's structure, of course. Sugars form hydrogen's bonds of different sizes. Sweeter tasting sugars usually form tighter, stronger bonds with the taste buds. The strength of the molecules' hydrogen bonding is the primary factor in determining a sugar's level of sweetness. But the interesting thing is that the sweetest substance in the world is not a sugar molecule, but a protein molecule by the name of taurine, which is found in the cytoskeleton, and it is believed to be 1,600 times as sweet as table sugar sucrose. Thanks for watching.